Best MLB player all time from every country in the world. Some of you may have seen a video I did like this about 5 years ago. That one, unfortunately, has been deleted. I'm trying to get this channel remonetized and I'm being forced to guess which videos are in violation of YouTube's extremely vague policies. If you saw that video, the names here today are mostly the same. A few have changed though, so this seems like the kind of video that should be done every 5 years or so anyway. A few more players who today hold the title of best ever in their country are in danger of losing that spot to an active player, and I'll be sure to mention those along the way. Territories are included here along with countries, 66 in all. A few more countries could join the list in the next few years. Someday it'll be 100. I'll probably be long gone by the time that happens, so one of you out there will have to make this video when that time comes. But as far as the 2024 edition, let's get it started. Last time we did this, we went in alphabetical order. Today I'd like to go in order of the number of MLB players all time produced by each country, from fewest to the most. Several countries tied with just one player each, and we'll start with those alphabetically. So we start with a country that's pretty much synonymous with Major League Baseball, Afghanistan. Jeff Bronke grew up in the U.S., but he was born in Kabul to an Afghan mother. Played 3 seasons in MLB from 1993 to 95 for the Rangers and Brewers. 45 relief appearances, 69 innings, and a career .404 ERA. American Samoa, a U.S. territory known for producing NFL players, did send one local player to MLB. Tony Salita, a left-handed batting first baseman, was born on the island and spent his early childhood years there. In 7 MLB seasons between 1968 and 1979 with a number of teams, he twice reached double digits in home runs. From 1980 to 83, 4 seasons in NPB with the Fighters, where he averaged nearly 40 home runs per season. Atlantic Ocean. Yes, there was someone born at sea who played in MLB. Ed Poré, a right-handed pitcher, started 3 games in the 1914 season for Buffalo of the Federal League. 10 1/3 innings, 5 earned runs for an ERA of .435. 53 batters faced, and not one strikeout. Austria. In its present form, Austria has only produced one Major League player. Kurt Krieger pitched 1 scoreless inning for the St. Louis Browns in 1949. The Browns gave him another shot in 1951, but 2 games, 4 innings, 7 runs allowed, and that was it for him. One Major League player from Belgium, outfielder Brian Lesher, born in Belgium while his father was playing professional basketball there. Between 1996 and 2002, he played in 5 Major League seasons for the A's, Mariners, and Blue Jays, only 108 games overall. A career .224 batter with 9 home runs. Belize, a Central American country of about 400,000 people. Outfielder Chito Martinez was born there, though he moved to New Orleans at the age of 2. Showed a lot of promise in his rookie season with the Orioles in 1991. 67 games, 13 home runs, and .817 OPS, but he only lasted 2 more years after that, and never repeated that initial success. Bohemia, a country no longer in existence, so this guy will hold this title forever. Catcher Frank Meek, also known as Dad Meek, played in 6 games for the St. Louis Browns in 1889 and 1890, going 6 out of 18 at the plate. Not bad, but in those 6 games he also committed 5 errors. Canary Islands, an archipelago about 100 kilometers off the coast of Morocco. Shortstop Alfredo Cabrera was born in this Spanish territory, and in 1913 debuted for the St. Louis Cardinals. Played in only that 1 game, going 0 for 2. He simultaneously became the first Spanish-born major leaguer and the first born in Africa, more than 100 years before someone from the mainland of Africa would appear in MLB. Though he only played in that 1 major league game, his career in the Cuban League spanned 20 years, and he was inducted into the Cuban Baseball Hall of Fame. China. The name here is the kind of name you might expect from mainland China. Harry Kingman. Born to 2 Western missionaries in China, he was in fact the first Asian-born player in MLB. His career was nothing to write home about. In 1914 for the New York Yankees, he played in just 4 games, and went 0 for 3 with a walk. One from Denmark, outfielder Olaf Henriksen, an outfielder for the Boston Red Sox from 1911 to 1917. In 321 games, he had a career on-base percentage of .392. Along with his teammate, Babe Ruth, Henriksen helped the Red Sox to 3 World Series titles. Finland, the home of baseball's cousin Pesapallo, had 1 native reach the major league level just over a century ago. John Michelson made 2 appearances for the Chicago White Sox in 1921. 2 2/3 innings, 4 hits, a walk, and 3 runs. Never brought back after that. Greece. There was one major league player born on the Greek island of Kos, Al Campanus, though at the time it was part of the Kingdom of Italy, so you could argue that there are no ball players from Greece. His playing career was very short, 7 games in 1943, 2 out of 20 at the plate, better known for being the LA Dodgers general manager from 1968 to 1987. Hong Kong, their one rep is a recent one. Relief pitcher Austin Bryce was born there in 1992 when it was a British territory, but grew up in North Carolina. 7 MLB seasons from 2016 to 2022, 144 games with a career 5.12 ERA. Still active in the minors, he's pitching in AAA St. Paul this year. Indonesia, home to former Cleveland Indians pitcher Tom Masney. Born to 2 American parents, Masney grew up in Indiana, but made history as the first Indonesian-born player. In 3 years with the Indians from 2005 to 2008, Masney appeared 80 times, through 94 innings, with a career ERA of 6.13. Latvia, going back to 1933 for this one. Outfielder Joe Zapustas played in 2 games, going 1 out of 5 for the Philadelphia Athletics. That same year, he also appeared in 2 games for the NFL's New York Giants. After retiring from both sports, he became a referee for professional boxing. Born in Latvia in 1907 when it was part of the Russian Empire, both of his parents were Lithuanian. Speaking of Lithuania, they are up next with a much more recent player. Dovydas Neverauskas appeared 76 times in relief for the Pirates from 2017 to 2020. Later played in NPB and in Mexico this year. Not bad coming from a country with no baseball field. Northern Ireland. Yes, all 4 countries of the UK are listed separately here, and this one is another recent one. PJ Conlon, born in Belfast but moved to the US a couple years after birth. In 2018, the lefty got his big shot with the New York Mets. 3 games, 7 2/3 innings, 7 runs allowed. Hung around in the minors for another year. Then that was it for him. Peru. Someday there may be several players to come from here, but for now only one. Pitcher Jesus Luzardo was born in Lima, Peru to 2 Venezuelan parents, and lived in Florida from the age of 1 or 2. Now with the Marlins, Luzardo has played in 6 MLB seasons, over 100 games, with over 500 strikeouts. Only one from the Philippines. Seems like there should be more. There was a pitcher in the Negro Leagues, Claudio Manila, the first Filipino in a recognized major league, but the one MLB player was pitcher Bobby Chenard. Born in Manila, he went on to play in 5 major league seasons between 1996 and 2001, over 100 games, 180 innings, and a career ERA of 4.27. Portugal had one player in the National Association 150 years ago, and one who's in MLB right now. Pitcher Isaiah Campbell made his MLB debut with the Mariners in 2023, now with the Red Sox in 2024. Last year he had a 2.83 ERA in 27 relief appearances. Struggling this year, but he's only 26. Prussia. Because this country no longer exists, one man will get the history of Prussian baseball and MLB all to himself. That is pitcher Jack Cattol. Born in Finkenstein, Prussia, modern-day Poland. He played in 2 centuries, from 1898 to 1902, 47 games, 17 wins, 22 losses, and a career 3.32 ERA. Singapore. One major league player was born there in 1972, outfielder Robin Jennings. Born to American parents, later lived in Switzerland, France, and Indonesia while growing up. 4 seasons in MLB between 1996 and 2001. In total, played less than 100 games. Vietnam. One player born in South Vietnam in 1973. Pitcher Danny Graves. Mother was Vietnamese, father was a U.S. service member. And he had a good career, 11 seasons, mostly with the Reds. 2 All-Star selections, 182 career saves, including a career high of 41 in 2003. Switzerland. This country could see its 2nd major league player in the next few years. For now, the title of Best Swiss Ball Player belongs to pitcher Otto Hess. He played in 10 seasons between 1902 and 1915, 165 starts, 70 wins, and a career 2.98 ERA. Won a World Series title with the Boston Braves in 1914. We've now graduated from the countries with only one MLB player in Major League history. The next 4 have seen 2 players reach the Major League level. First up is the U.S. territory of Guam. If you're looking for a born and raised native athlete from Guam, that would be switch-hitting third baseman John Haddick, who played for the Blue Jays in 2006. But since birthplace is all that matters here, we go with pitcher Sean Reed Foley. 7 MLB seasons, 3 with the Blue Jays, 4 with the Mets. 2018 to the present, and he is at his very best right now. In 2024, 23 relief appearances, 1.66 ERA, and 10.4 strikeouts per 9 innings. Honduras, tough decision here. Gerald Young stole 155 bases from 1987 to 1994, including a career high of 65 steals in 1988. But Astros hitter Mauricio Dubon has done enough to earn the title. Now in his 6th MLB season, Dubon won a Gold Glove last year with a 720 OPS. This year he's batting .278 with 17 doubles at the break. Saudi Arabia, hard to believe, but 2 Major League players were born there. Pitcher Alex Wilson was born in Dhahran, moved to New Orleans when he was 2. 7 seasons from 2013 to 2019, over 300 games in relief, career .344 ERA, and a 12.20 WHIP. South Africa, 2 recent players. Gifton Gope will always have the honor of being the first one, but pitcher Taylor Scott is the one with a lasting career. Made his MLB debut in 2019, spent a couple years in NPB, and now he's been back in MLB for 3 years. Wasn't going very well till this year. He's made 41 relief appearances for the Astros, ERA 1.36, WHIP 10.14. The next 4 countries have seen 3 locally born men reach the major league level. First is Czechoslovakia. Outfielder Elmer Valo, born in modern-day Slovakia, where he lived until he was 6, when he and his family emigrated to the U.S. He had a long career from 1940 to 1961, interrupted only by 2 years of military service. His younger years all spent with the Philly Athletics. 1,400 hits, 100 stolen bases. Best year at the plate was 1955 with the Kansas City A's, when he had a .944 OPS. Norway, the first of 3 Major League players born in Norway, was a surprisingly good one. Outfielder and first baseman John Anderson played in the major leagues from 1894 to 1908, 1,800 career hits, a .290 career batter, with 338 stolen bases. Led the league once in triples and once in stolen bases. Still in the top 100 all-time in triples. Spain, not much to look at here. Out of the 3 Spaniards to reach MLB, pitcher Bryant Welkers leads the way. Played for the Twins in '83 and with the Indians in '86. 45 games, 103 innings, ERA 6.01. Wales, the second UK country we're looking at here. This is a tough one. Infielder Jimmy Austin had a long career, mostly with the St. Louis Browns between 1909 and 1929. 1,300 hits and 244 steals. But from 1896 to 1901, pitcher Ted Lewis did more in a shorter time. 94 wins, 64 losses, 136 complete games, career .353 ERA, led the league in winning percentage in 1898. Spent all years in Boston with the Beaneaters and the Americans. The next 4 countries have had 4 Major League players. Austria-Hungary doesn't exist anymore, but it's got the modern-day countries of Austria and Hungary beat 4-1. The best one is pitcher Jack Quinn. He was born in what is now Slovakia. His career lasted from 1909 to 1933 with a number of teams. A career record of .247 and .218. Led the league twice in saves. Part of a Philly Athletics team that won back-to-back World Series titles in 1929 and 1930. Jamaica, an island in the Caribbean, a region known for baseball. And Jamaica's known for success in sports, just not baseball. Of the 4 Jamaicans to reach MLB, we've got to go with Chili Davis. Born in Kingston, where he lived till he was 10. In 19 Major League seasons from 1981 to 1999, he was a 3-time All-Star selection, with 2,300 hits and 350 home runs. Career on-base percentage of .360. The Panama Canal Zone existed from 1903 to 1979, separate from the rest of Panama, not a country of its own but a concession of the U.S., and though it was only 10 miles long, it produced a Hall of Famer in Rod Carew, who was born on a train in the zone. From 1967 to 1985, Carew played for the Twins and Angels. 3,000 hits, 353 stolen bases, 7 batting titles, 4 on-base titles, Rookie of the Year, MVP, and 18 All-Star selections. Of the 4 players born in Poland, the best is pitcher Mo Drabowski. Played every year from 1956 to 1972, 88 wins, over 1,000 strikeouts, and a career .371 ERA. A well-known prankster during his 17-year MLB career. Brazil is a new face in the world of MLB players. All 5 Brazilian-born players made their major league debuts in the last 13 years. The only one that's really lasted is catcher Yan Gomes. He was the first one and is now in his 13th season. Silver Slugger in 2014, All-Star in 2018, both with the Indians. Over 100 home runs and almost 1,000 hits. 5 MLB players have hailed from Sweden. Pitcher Erik Eriksson played in 7 seasons between 1914 and 1922. Not much of a career, his highlight was leading the league in strikeouts per 9 innings in 1919. The other 4 Swedes to reach the major league level only played in 1 or 2 games. Aruba, an island of just over 100,000 people. You wouldn't expect much based on population, but 6 major league players have come from there, and the best one is a great one. Padres infielder Xander Bogaerts. From 2013 to the present year, Bogaerts is a 5-time Silver Slugger and 4-time All-Star selection. Over 1,600 hits, 179 home runs. Best year was 2019 with the Red Sox, when he had a .939 OPS with 33 home runs. 7 MLB players have come from France. If we were judging by all MLB accomplishments, then Bruce Bochy would be the choice, a 4-time World Series champion as manager. He was born in France. But going strictly by player performance, the choice is pitcher Charlie Lea. Between 1980 and 88, he pitched in 7 MLB seasons, 6 of those with the Expos. Arm and shoulder injuries cut his career short. In 1981, he threw a no-hitter. In 1984, he was an All-Star, with 15 wins, a sub-3 ERA, over 200 innings, and 8 complete games. 7 MLB players all-time born in Italy. Infielder Reno Bertoia grew up in Canada but was born in Italy. 10 years in MLB from 1953 to 62. His best season was 1960 with the Washington Senators. He batted .265 with 122 hits and 7 triples. Another European country with 7 players, and that is Scotland. Bobby Thompson, best known for his pennant-winning 3-run homer for the New York Giants in 1951, known as the shot heard round the world. He also had an excellent career. 15 seasons from 1946 to 1960. 3-time All-Star, 1,700 hits, 264 home runs, over 1,000 RBI, led the league in triples in 1952. Not only the best player from Scotland, but the best from all of the UK. 8 MLB players have come from the Bahamas. Until recently, the best was Andre Rogers, an infielder who played in 11 Major League seasons from 1957 to 67. But in only his 5th Major League season, Jazz Chisholm Jr. has accomplished more. 4 years in a row he's hit double-digit home runs, twice stole over 20 bases, had an .860 OPS in 2022 when he was an All-Star. Russia, home to 9 MLB players all-time. Top of the list is catcher Eddie Ainsmith. From 1910 to 1924, Ainsmith played in over 1,000 games, though only a few times did he play over 100 games in a season. Long after his playing career was done, he managed the Rockford Peaches of the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League. Netherlands, the most successful European country in baseball history, had 10 of its own play in MLB, but the best one is not one they can take credit for developing. Hall of Fame pitcher Bert Blyleven lived in America from the age of 2. No arguing he's the best Dutch-born player, though. Over 3,700 strikeouts, ranking 5th all-time. 287 career wins puts him in the top 30 all-time. 22-year career from 1970 to 1992. Led the league once each in WHIP, strikeouts, and ERA+. West Germany could claim 11 MLB players during its existence. And no, we won't be seeing East Germany on here. The best from West Germany was relief pitcher Craig Lefferts. As you would expect, he was the son of an American service member stationed there. From 1983 to 1994, he appeared in nearly 700 games, including a league-leading 83 games in 1986, over 100 saves, and 4 times had a sub-3 ERA. Virgin Islands, 14 MLB players all-time. Not bad considering their population of just 87,000. After all the VI players in MLB, the best is still switch-hitting infielder Horace Clarke. 10 years in MLB from 1965 to 74, almost all with the Yankees. He averaged 120 hits and 15 steals per season over that time. Nicaragua. There's always 1 or 2 Nicaraguans in MLB. They've had 16 overall. But over the decades, no one has been able to match pitcher Dennis Martinez, the very first Nicaraguan in MLB. A 23-year Major League career from 1976 to 1998, A four-time All-Star, led the league once in ERA, once in wins, once in innings, once in shutouts, twice in complete games. Top 5 Cy Young twice. Threw a perfect game in 1991. Another small island with a big major league presence. 17 MLB players have come from Curacao. All have played in the last 30 years. Could go with Kenley Jansen here. 15 years, 439 saves, four-time All-Star, and he's still going. But still number one has got to be Andrew Jones. From 1996 to 2012, mostly with the Braves, he hit 434 home runs, over 1,200 RBI, and almost 2,000 hits. 10-time Gold Glove, 5-time All-Star. In 2005, he led the league with 51 homers and 128 RBI, earned a Silver Slugger, and was MVP runner-up. Taiwan has seen 17 of its own reach the major league level. I think one day soon we'll see a great player come from there. But until that happens, their best ever is Chen Ming Wang. 9 years in MLB between 2005 and 2016. Back-to-back 19-win seasons with the Yankees in 2006 and 2007. Led the American League in the first of those years. Also led the league in home runs per 9 innings in both of those years. 2005 AL Cy Young runner-up. Parts Unknown, a place better known for professional wrestling, claims 23 members all-time in MLB. For some of them, their first name is unknown. As you can imagine, all 23 of these players didn't last very long. The best one appears to be shortstop Dave Drew. He played in 1884 for the Washington Nationals and Philadelphia Keystones. In 15 games, he went 20 out of 63 with 9 runs scored. Not bad. Makes you wonder why he didn't hang around. South Korea, home to 29 MLB players all time. Some might go with Hyunjin Ryu for this one, a 10-year MLB veteran and 2-time Cy Young finalist with 1 ERA title. He came close, but not enough to top Shin-Soo Choo. From 2005 to 2020, Choo collected over 1,600 hits and 200 home runs. Most impressively, had a .377 career on-base percentage. Colombia is no stranger to MLB. 32 native Colombians have reached the major league level. And like most countries in the Caribbean, there is one name synonymous with baseball there. Shortstop Edgar Renteria played from 1996 to 2011. Over 2,000 hits and just short of 300 stolen bases. 3-time Silver Slugger, 2-time Gold Glove, 4-time All-Star. Part of 2 World Series title teams. In 2010, he was the World Series MVP. Germany can match Colombia with 32 major league players born there. Until recently, the best German-born player was pitcher Edwin Jackson. He won over 100 games, threw a no-hitter, and played for a record 14 different teams. But his time at the top is done. The title now belongs to born-and-raised German Max Kepler, now in his 10th season with the Minnesota Twins. He's hit 159 career home runs, including a career-high 36 homers in 2019. Australia, another one of those countries that always has a small presence in MLB. 35 Aussie-born major league players throughout its history, and some really good ones along the way. Dave Nilsson, an all-star catcher for the Brewers in the 90s. Grant Balfour, a 15-year reliever who once recorded 38 saves. But the best one is an active one. Liam Hendriks, from 2011 to the present, has recorded over 100 saves, led the league in 2021, sub-2 ERA in 2019 and 2020. A 3-time All-Star, and twice finished in the top 10 for the Cy Young. Believe it or not, England has produced just as many major league players as Australia. The best one is Danny Cox, a major league pitcher from 1983 to 1995. In 1985 with the Cardinals, he went 18-9 with a .288 ERA in 35 starts, 241 innings. Later years were spent in the bullpen, where he won a World Series title with the Blue Jays in 1993. Ireland, home to 43 MLB players. 2 I could have gone with here, both from the early days. Jack Doyle, 1889 to 1905, had 1,800 hits and 518 steals. Similarly, Patsy Donovan, 1890 to 1907, had 2,200 hits and the exact same number, 518 steals. He also led the league in steals in 1900 with the St. Louis Cardinals. He gets the nod here. Panama is home to 67 MLB players all time. It won't surprise you that Hall of Famer Mariano Rivera is the pick here, widely considered the greatest closer ever. MLB record holder for saves, games finished, and ERA plus in a career. A 13-time All-Star, and 5 times finished in the top 5 for the Cy Young. By the way, if we don't count the Canal Zone separately, and we can only pick one, I choose Rod Carew over Rivera. How about you? Japan, home to 80 MLB players all time. This number would be much higher if not for their own league, NPB, keeping a lot of their major league level talent. If you're waiting to hear the name Shohei Ohtani, wait till we do this again in 5 years. He's not there yet. For now, the title still belongs to Ichiro. Over 3,000 hits and 500 steals. MVP, 10-time All-Star, 8-time Gold Glove, 3-time Silver Slugger, 2-time batting champion, 7-time leader in hits, 10 straight 200-hit seasons, a major league record. Mexico has seen 148 in MLB. Many good ones have come and gone, but the best remains Fernando Valenzuela. In 1981, he made his mark by leading the league with 8 shutouts, earning the Rookie of the Year and the Cy Young. During his 18-year career, he was a 6-time All-Star, led the league 3 times in complete games, once in wins, once in strikeouts, and once in innings. Top 5 for the Cy Young 4 times. The number takes a big leap here. The number of Cubans in MLB is 233 all-time, and would be much higher if not for the political situation. There are some good Cuban-born, American-raised players like Rafael Palmeiro and Jose Canseco, as well as several from the island. The one I choose here is pitcher Luis Tiant, 1964 to 1982, a record of 229 and 172, 2 ERA titles, 160 in 1968, 191 in 1972, a 3-time league leader in shutouts. Canada's number has reached 264. Pitcher Fergie Jenkins is usually considered Canada's best all-time, a Cy Young winner, 4-time league leader in complete games, 2-time league leader in wins, 284 wins in his 19-year Hall of Fame career. But the next Canadian to get into the Hall of Fame gets the pick. Joey Votto, 2007 to 2023, all with the Cincinnati Reds, led the league 5 times in walks, 7 times in on-base percentage, once in slugging, and twice in OPS, 2,135 hits, 356 home runs, and an MVP. 285 players from Puerto Rico in MLB all-time. So many greats from the island, but the choice will surprise no one. Roberto Clemente, from 1955 to 1972, collected 3,000 hits, 240 home runs, 4 batting titles, an MVP, 12 Gold Gloves, and 12 All-Star selections, and it all led to a Hall of Fame induction. A big jump now, 482 MLB players from Venezuela, and that gap continues to grow. Miguel Cabrera is the best-known Venezuelan in recent years. 3,000 hits, 500 home runs, Triple Crown winner, and 2-time MVP. You could certainly make an argument for him to be the pick here, but he comes up short compared with shortstop Luis Aparicio, 1956 to 1973. He led the league in stolen bases in each of his first 9 MLB seasons, over 500 for his career. Also had over 2,600 hits, 9 Gold Gloves, 10-time All-Star, and Rookie of the Year. 903 Dominicans in MLB all-time, nearly double the number of Venezuelans. They'll be over 1,000 before too long. Some great ones, too. Juan Marichal, Pedro Martinez. But the best has got to be Albert Pujols. 3-time MVP, 3-time leader in OPS, 4 times in OPS+, 5 times in runs scored, twice in home runs, 1 batting title, 703 career home runs, 4th all-time, 2nd all-time in RBI with over 2,200, 2nd all-time in total bases with over 6,200, and over 3,300 hits. The country with the most major league players all-time is, no surprise, the United States. If they ever lose that spot, it won't happen this century. 17,800 MLB players all-time from the U.S. Some will try to argue this one, but the best American ballplayer of all time is Babe Ruth. Greatness is determined by how a player does against his contemporaries. We don't know how Ruth would have performed if he had to hit in the dead ball era like Ty Cobb did, or if he had to play in an integrated MLB like Willie Mays did. We also don't know how Aaron Judge would do if he had to take a train from city to city like Ruth did. You can only look at how a player does in his time, and no player dominated his era like Ruth did. When Ruth started his major league career, the single-season home run record was 27. He more than doubled that by hitting 60 in a season. Led the league 12 times in home runs, 13 times in OPS, 10 times in on-base percentage, 13 times in slugging. MLB career record holder in slugging, OPS, OPS plus, and wins above replacement. Third all time with 714 home runs. And that's it. Best MLB player from all 66 countries and territories that have ever had a player reach the major league level. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. That's all for this one, and until next time, this is Baseball International. See ya.